in that last segment, he now has a podcast that he and his wife do. They've been doing it for a while now, and he lives on that podcast. And he was doing that podcast before he came across me and everything else. But I really feel like with what you're doing and what he's doing and a lot of other people that listen to that show, that intimacy we talk about, we have a network of people that's still together and that we all built it up. Like, people who listen to those shows are friends to these days. I know people who met through that show who literally moved in together, like guy and girl, like fly across the country, go live together and stuff like that. Like, that's the real cool
that's
stuff.
That's
you know,
shit, man,
that's what I loved about doing this. Like, I sat on there, I cried when that radio show went away because I knew it would never be like that again, that I'd never be able to get that kind of intimacy. So when I see the people doing podcasts, I applaud anybody that's taking that time. And look, people are putting in grind and effort and imaging and everything else.
That's all it is right now. But it's not work. It's like, I feel so alive doing this shit, man.
Like, dude, I flew in here, 3-hour flight to get here. I came straight here off the plane.
Thank you so much,
I came here,
man.
and we've been
and
posted.
Thanks for reaching out too, man. I appreciate that,
dude.
man.
No problem, because this is what it is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
there's no way that we weren't going to come back and do this again, because this is what makes this kind of worth doing. You know, you can do it for money and you do it all stuff, but this is
because you're doing other shit for money.
Yeah, this is, like I say, this is fine. But this is where we at, and you can't. For me, especially the people who were around when we first started doing this, it's very, very important to me that everybody understands that I didn't change. Just all this other stuff did. You know, go, that's the wildest realization.
There you go. But Monty, man, thank you.
Dude, thank you.
And like I've told you before, and like, you know, man, you always have an open invitation.
No, and honestly, I thank you sincerely, because like when we first started doing that show on the radio, like when people started calling, because like, how do you get callers on Sirius? I can't make people subscribe, you know? So when I started getting calls from cats like you, it would be like, yo, I got this to listen to Howard Stern, but I turned off Stern for a little bit to go check this out. Like, that was a big deal for me. That was a sweet spot
for you, man. Well, it was a sweet spot for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I listened to Stern, but then I turned to your show, and it's like, you're talking to me.
Yeah, it was funny because when I first started the show, they asked me, because Sirius was encouraging people not to do morning shows because you're basically going against the franchise. Right. And then the station I was on finally decided, no, we're going to be like a real station. We're going to do a morning show. And they came to me and they said, how do you feel about competing with Howard Stern and Mike and Mike? I was like, we're going to compete.
You're not really competing.
But even if we were, somebody going to be on no matter what time it is, right? So we're just going to do this show. Yeah. And I figured there were going to be some people that didn't want to listen to Howard every hour, every day, and they would turn over. And so it was a real validation for me to find out somebody actually had done that. Yep. You know,
I remember when y'all used to talk about Dirty Max,
the Dirty Max,
and the whole nine, man. Yo, you come a long way, dude.
I appreciate it. Hey, we still going, man.
Yeah, you still.
I can't stop now.
Don't stop, man. Like I said, man, I'm really happy for you, man. When I heard the news that you were going to ESPN, man, I couldn't wait to talk to you, man. I called you and I was like, yo, Bomani.
Dude, it's crazy. It's still crazy. Like I say, the happiest day for me is like when my friends come to visit and they hadn't been through for a while, and they come to the spot and we like open the door, and all of a sudden it becomes giddy for me again too, because I'm legitimately surrounded by people close to me where nobody's hating. Like there's no jealousy. There's nothing like that.
And that speaks to your character, man.
Man, you know what though? It really speaks to them. You know what I mean? Like I've been fortunate enough to be around people who can be happy for me for the things that I do, and I can be happy for them, and the things I do, like I can share it. Like the times that this isn't fun is that it's been a tunnel vision sort of work for so long that it can be hard to share because I'm always in it myself, you know? So when I have those moments where somebody can come through, we can just go hang out or whatever it is, and it's just like, hey man, this is us, because I did not get here by myself. Like like my best friend died in college. How did I survive? It was with the people that were around. My friend died just recently. Like, how do I get through those things? I flunked out of graduate school. How did I get through that? Like, that was the hardest one. I flunked out of graduate school after I'd never failed at anything before in my life. And all those people who were around me, nobody was like, damn, I thought you were ... And instead, it was more so, well, I guess it just means you need to go find something else.
Let's go.
And that's how I could be here, is because of the support of those people. And now that we're here, none of them are then trying to knock it down. They're all like, see, I told you could do this. And I'm fortunate to have been surrounded by those people.
Internet. Bomani Jones, you can catch his show, The Evening Jones, every Monday.
Monday at 7:30 Eastern.
It's live, and then you put it on iTunes?
That's right. We put it on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and all the places.
Okay, and then you also co-host ESPN2's Highly Questionable.
That's right.
When does that come on?
That comes on at 4 o'clock Monday through Friday on ESPN2. My PR man at ESPN thanks you kindly for remembering to drop that in there.
He definitely said, make that happen. But Bomani Jones, man, thank you again, man. This has been an excellent episode, man, and continued success.
Hey, man, appreciate it.
Wait, when is the 30 for 30?
Oh, November 11th. It'll be November 11th at 9 o'clock. They gave us an hour, so we're going to have an hour on the day. First, we only had 30 minutes. We got them to give us an hour, so it'll be an hour on Randy Moss. And it's a really interesting story that I think a lot of people don't know about, the circumstances around him going to jail in high school and all the stuff that came around that. Like, I think people will learn a lot about him. And it's really, honestly, a story about West Virginia and how that molded him and all the things that went on. So I think it's going to be something that a lot of people are going to learn from.
Excellent. There you have it, Pete.
Good to see you, Bomani.
Appreciate it, man.
I'll tell you, you're always ripping and running, always escalating. So hopefully next time we see you, it's another tax bracket.
Hopefully, sure. And the best part about this is this time I come here and I didn't accidentally call you Puerto Rican like I did the last time that I did the show.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, listen.
I don't remember that.
Nah, he did. Yeah. But it's all good. A lot of people, think I'm Puerto.
I felt so awful. I felt so awful. I was like, wait a minute, you're not Puerto Rican? Ain't that some shit?
Nah,
I'm Italian.
I mean, listen, I'm proud of Italian, but at the end of the day, it's always good to see you. It's inspiring. Like I said, you're always ripping and running. You're always up to something. Even when you're down, you find a way to come, up to the top and stuff like that. So, it's important to see that.
I greatly appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Internets, dream those dreams and man up and live those dreams. Because a life without dreams is black and white, and the universe flows in Technicolor and surround sound.
Wow.
Numinati!
This episode of the Combat Jack Show was produced by Jonathan Mena, executive produced by A. King and Chris Morrow, engineered by Samir Karan, and recorded in the Engine Room Audio Studio in downtown Manhattan. This is an official Loudspeakers Networks production.